Hello everyone, it's me. Yeah. So basically, this video is made because I actually wanted to help some people. Um, you know, just help some people. I don't know. So this is just a little I don't know, guide, maybe you can say, not guide, maybe advice, but maybe not also advice. Just call it whatever you want. Okay, so uh just to start with the video, I guess. So this is things I wish someone told me when I started art. So this is a little disclaimer for the video. So the thing is, I am not a professional artist, at least not yet. So all the advice or opinions maybe that I'm going to give here are solely based from my experience and how I feel about art and how I don't know, I manage things and how I learn things and based on personal experiences, that's all. So yeah, enjoy. Okay, so here's the first thing. Art isn't learned in a week, okay? So the people who say learn how to draw this thing in a week, like learn how to draw, I guess, anatomy in a week, are probably not aiming at beginners. People with like some experience of art and stuff, they might understand what the person is saying, but to those who just started out, it will definitely get discouraging when they don't see the significant process in the following week. And so I would just suggest to keep continuing to learn at your own pace and speed, because nobody is rushing you, I swear, and you'll definitely shine a way that the world is not prepared for. So keep it up. Thing number 2. This might be a kind of a controversial pick, honestly, but brushes do matter. Because as artists we should experiment, because as much as people say that brushes don't matter, to me, I guess they do matter. They matter because the built-in default brushes in your editing app may be good. They may be good. I'm not saying they're bad, okay? But it just might not click for you. And if you continue on with something that doesn't click, your art might not be up to its full potential, And I'm not saying the defaults are bad, no. They're just kind of basic, okay? So I'd say get the feel of different things. And you may find some things that you enjoy a lot more than what you were using before, right? So this kind of applies to traditional art too. So yeah, that's it too. Okay, so thing number 3 that I wish I could tell my younger self. I would tell her to practice what you're not as good at instead of what you're good at. So this is kind of a harsh truth, okay? If you only draw floating heads and never practice anatomy, you'll have a hard time getting the hang of it, okay? It's not that unheard of for that to happen. It's not impossible, I'm not saying that. It will just be kind of hard, But knowing you clicked for things that you wish you knew, I fully believe that you want to improve, and I'm really proud of you for that. So what I suggest is watch a lot of stuff online, tutorials, tips, and try to apply them. Copy them for a while until you understand why certain things are done a certain way. And you can, kind of implement what you learned in your own creative style or in your own artworks, right? So, yeah. Okay, so thing number 4 that I wish I could tell myself. Now this, again, might be really controversial, but tools, the tools you use to draw don't matter as much as you think. Like, it's okay if you don't have an expensive drawing tablet or a good drawing software. Just a pen and paper can be enough to make something that you actually enjoyed making and something that you liked making, Maybe you have a phone without a stylus, which is a lot of artists, I can tell already. And I've been there, so this is not a disadvantage at all. Finger art is hard, okay? Drawing with your finger, it is hard. I would not lie to you. But you learn something completely new from that. You learn control. Maybe after a while you'll be able to draw your own worlds and your own characters and OCs in a way that you enjoy after you struggled so much to get the hang of it. And when you're ready, you can like get an expensive tablet or a software you always wanted to try out. And I think you will just understand those way better if you already persisted through the hard things, you know? And I fully believe in you, okay? So, good luck. And yeah, I know you can do it. Yeah. Alright, so thing number 5. I actually really wish that I could like yell this shit into my younger self, like my 11-year-old self. And that is, tracing does not equal to always being bad, you know? Tracing is a tool that every artist needs to learn, okay? Because it only gets bad when you like don't credit someone's work that they like put a lot of effort in. Because even if done with good intentions, the person you traced off of may feel like it's a personal attack to them. So I would say, if you just ever tracing or using a base even, always credit the artist. Because there's nothing wrong with tracing until you use it to learn or like get better at something. And please do not use it for commercial use or online posts, especially not without credit or if they do not consent to it, okay? Even if you didn't mean to, it is hurtful when someone takes like someone else's art, like make some changes on it and claim it as their own. And if you studied off of an artist, let's say I studied off of Sam Desart's. I like his facial features and simplistic anatomy. So what you do, you trace over the facial features and the simple shapes he used, like study the shapes he used, okay? And if you post it online, you credit him. Like even the simplest caption, like, hey, I studied Sam Desart's art and I used them to learn, so I traced off some things to understand his way of thinking better. Full credits to him. That's more than enough actually, you know? And I'll just say keep learning and crediting those you learn from. Yeah. Okay, mid-video break. If you hear a lot of like, construction noises, maybe my brother yelling in the background, maybe someone calling my name, or even phone calls, or, just random chatters here and there, please ignore that. I'm so sorry. I do not have a very quiet place to record, so back to the video. Bye. Thing number 6. Study artists you like. Analyze why you like this art style and try to implement it in your own art. Maybe you like Cooline's shading. Learn why you like it and make something of your own from what you saw and what you liked. This is good for beginners too, Like, I will just suggest, just start off slow and easy and just don't rush yourself because you've got this. And just study the shapes the artist you admire uses. Maybe on their bodies. Like, can they be simplified? How can the shape of the body be simplified? If so, how can I do it? Because, studying someone you enjoy watching will make you want to learn more about their style and their stylistic choices. And with that, you can add those features into your own art. Art is as messy as it is fun. So break things down, be messy, and get the poster best worlds and just have fun. Because learning and studying is not the same as to losing your original charms. Look, I thought this way too, okay? As much as you think that way, that's not true at all. Studying art gets you to think that way, not copy that way. And if you ever study someone's art, be sure to credit them, because the people you study may not always respond, but I would say they're always glad to see that you learn something from them. And it avoids unnecessary conflicts too. For me personally, I say I like Ayda art style a lot. I implemented the little red eyeliner and the big eyes. This This does not mean that I'm not original. This means I learned from someone and made it original, okay? And you can do it that too. So keep it up, yeah? Good luck. Thing number 7. Okay, I'd say a lot of people need to hear this, including myself, like younger me. Take criticism as a learning tool. Like, be ready to face criticism from others. Though harsh, sometimes they tell you things you can do even better and where to improve. And don't always take others' criticism in a bad way when they're actually trying to help, but if they are like forcing you to completely change yourself, take it with caution. And I understand it's discouraging. So even most of the people, don't mean to hurt you, but when they do want to hurt you or like change your mindset, your way of thinking, and make you think that your way of thinking and style is bad, that's not good, and you should just ignore them or just not interact with them at all. Like, say for example, here's a good criticism that I could receive in my art. So let's say somebody commented or reposted, maybe someone said, "This is really good. I suggest you to try and work on your anatomy and lighting. But otherwise, this is beautiful." See, that is good criticism because they suggest you a solid thing that you can fix, and they don't mean it in a rude way. They just say that because they genuinely want you to be better, and that's nice criticism. It gets unhealthy when somebody says something like, "This drawing, it has terrible anatomy and the color choices are really unappealing. Completely change the way you do that. Don't do that. Don't even do anatomy like that. Just stop drawing." See, that's bad criticism. Even if I exaggerated it a lot, that happens way too much for comfort. Like, people actually comment things like that, and it is discouraging. So I suggest you only take like advice and criticism from the comments if they are nice to you. So yeah, that's tip number 7, or like thing number 7. Thing number 8, art styles don't develop in 2 weeks. Yes, I am aware how much this is said already, but hear me out, okay? There's good reasoning for why I think that way, okay? That's just my opinion I'm sharing here. That might help somebody else who's stuck with finding an art style. So, there's nothing wrong with wanting an art style that's unique and consistent. But it shouldn't be a top priority when you're just starting out. It should be there in the list of things that you should learn. But it should not be overpowering enough to stray away from the improvement points, Like, I completely understand. Looking at all these amazing artists on Twitter, maybe YouTube or Instagram or any other social media, you definitely, and even I also feel that I gotta draw like this. They're amazing. And that's okay. It gets discouraging when you focus completely on replicating someone else's way of drawing. And you know what happens after this? This causes you to have a pause in your art progress, and eventually causes an art block. So yeah, even if art styles are important, focus on them after you're done with the basics, so that you don't feel too overwhelming. Start off slow and then try the hardest stuff when you're ready, okay? This keeps you motivated to create the art that you will love, okay? You will be proud of that art piece. Thing number 9. Study basic color theory and bend the rules as you learn. Okay, so this one might lean a little more towards advice maybe for intermediate artists, but it could still be useful for my, small artist friends who are out there and are learning. So, color theory. It's hard, okay? I would not lie to you and get your hopes up. And so, here's the truth. Color theory is an amazing element to have in your art, okay? It's no joke. It's good. It's amazing. But there are no rules to it. You're free to do anything you want. And like, if you like a certain way that the color looks, then apply that to your art. But I would still say for you to not neglect the basics. I'll leave down some videos in the description that I guess help me understand it better. And if you feel like those videos are a little too hard to understand, I will try my best to make a video when I can on color theory, okay? In the most simple language that I can possibly use. But you know, this is not me, this is not about me. I hope you get my point. Rules are important, but they are not mandatory. I know this is a hard one to get by, but as I said a few times before, start slow, really slow, and then start tackling the big things, you know? And you've got this, okay? Yeah, you got this. Okay, thing number 10. This is more on the reality side of artists. So I feel like many people need to hear this. Art, you know, isn't always fun, and that's okay. I know I might sound like someone who's got it all figured out right now, but here's the truth. I don't. And I am still learning. I have art blocks and like 0 motivation days. That's normal, and that's something that, you know, all artists need to accept at some point. No matter how effortlessly an artist seems to make their art, they probably, most likely, also feel the same ugly phase and the lack of motivation. From my personal experience, I make art that I don't like. A lot. I have many pieces that I haven't shared because I felt like they just weren't good enough. But as discouraging as it sounds, you know, it's what made me realize how important it is to take breaks and rest a little. Because as much as I enjoy art, I am only human. Like, I get burnt out and tired, and that's completely okay. We all need to rest, and like, we all need some time to recharge ourselves. And so don't be afraid to take breaks or feel that I have to keep making art, I have to keep creating content, even when you feel like you're really tired and burnt out. I would say just go for a walk, maybe outside a little, sit in the sun, bask in the sun a little, like maybe just, you know, go to a comforting place for you and just listen to music, you know, whatever you like, rock, metal, lo-fi, pop, I don't know, you do you, okay? You just listen to what you like, and just maybe you just start with a pen and paper and just doodle away. Whatever you're feeling, just doodle it, okay? And you do not think about making it perfect. You just think about making art. And art is full of ups and downs. So if you feel that you're not cut out to make art, just, you know, remember that there's one more girl who thought the same way, and here she is still creating art that has meaning to her. So even if it's like, even if it feels hopeless, take a break, you know, keep trying, because at the end of the day, the art we create, you know, reflects ourselves. I know you can pull through with enough breaks and enough practice, and I know you've got this, okay? So good luck. Alright, so these were the 10 things that I wish I could tell myself or to other like beginner artists. So I want to thank you so much for watching till the end and like sticking with me through all the chaos in the background. Hopefully okay, you get it. Thank you so much for watching, and please tell me if you want more of these videos, like, you know, art tips, tutorials maybe, and you know, just keep having fun and just keep making art, because at the end of the day, for me at least, art is something to be enjoyed, not something to hate, okay? That's just how I think, okay? So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.